Batman Curse of the White Knight, issue 7. Is this the penultimate issue? Is it 8 issues total?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it definitely feels like that.
It felt like that by the end as well. It definitely felt like the go home cliffhanger at the end of this. So Batman makes the tough call to reveal himself to the world as Bruce Wayne. And kind of a big deal as well, where he puts out this call. It's like, it's not Times Square, it's like Gotham's Times Square and whatever else. But it appears on the screen and reveals who he is. It says that he's culpable because of what the Waynes have been involved in, and that, it isn't mentioned to the public that he's not really technically a Wayne. And Harley tries to tell him that it doesn't matter. Like, you've made it what you are. You're on your own. It doesn't matter if you're technically related to some person from generations
he has a little bit
ago.
Of an identity crisis at the start.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, if I'm not a Wayne, then it's like, you're still a Wayne. You might not be, have the bloodline that you thought you did, but you and your parents and the rest of your family have been following the same principles as Waynes.
But he says that he is going to turn himself in after he's dealt with Azrael, and he's asking the people of Gotham to stay off the streets tonight, so that he can be Batman one last time. Like, grant me the permission to be Batman one last time. And he just kind of hopes that the people of Gotham listen to him so that there's no collateral damage. And he drives off in the Batmobile, the 89 Batmobile, because it's the only one left, because Azrael destroyed the rest of them.
Yeah, and he quotes that movie as well.
He does. He said, "Let's get nuts."
It kind of works here, though, doesn't it?
It works. I'm not terribly fond of that movie, but I mean...
No, but they're going there, this thing's decades old. Are you nuts? And he just gets in, he's just like, let's get nuts. I'm like, yeah, I'm so in for this.
So, I mean, that's cool stuff, and it ends kind of with this big thing of him like being out in the middle of Gotham. It's the red kind of colouring, and it's like, all right, it's time to go. It's go time now.
And you see that all the streets are empty. Yeah,
but the big thing here is that he is intended in killing Azrael, and both Barbara and Dick are like, wait, this is not Batman. This is not who you are. And he's like, no, Batman has to die. So, I'm going to kill Azrael. So my hope is, of course, that he's going to make the choice not to do that. When push comes to shove, and he'll still be Batman.
That would be the hope. I think it is interesting that this is such a different take on Batman. That if this is, okay, he does kill, he goes down that route. I'm not going to be angry because, this Batman for the entirety of the last book and this has struggled with the idea of living up to what Batman actually is. That's kind of been a running theme, that he's been out of control and he's gone too far and crossed too many lines. Is it just a case of he gives up and it's like, do you know what? No more Batman, and ends it this one time and then quits? That could be interesting.
I don't know how I feel. I feel like the way the story's set up here is that we're supposed to be rooting for him not to make that choice. The way the characters are trying to talk him out of it, it feels like that's what the story's leaning towards. It doesn't, it's one thing to do like an Elseworld and sort of set up right away that this is a Batman who's willing to kill and all that stuff. I feel like because it's been focusing on that struggle, the natural inkling is still to want him to not cross that line. So,
I get that.
So I don't know if I'll be angry, but I don't know if I'll like it if he does. Like,
I think here's the thing. I want him to make the right choice because it's Batman and that's the story beat, right? But I find that if he does make the wrong choice and kill him, then I feel like Murphy's got a story to tell there, and I'm interested to see that story as well.
Yeah, no, that's possible. I will say the other thing I didn't like about this, because this is very good, is probably whenever they mention Jack Napier and like how he got the city to trust him, because I hated that part of the first
You're
story.
really hung up on that, aren't you?
I hate it. I hate that version of Joker. I don't like it at all. But I mean, that's a minor part of the issue. But then obviously it looks great, as expected. This is very much the build-up issue to the final. But there was a nice kind of element of let me be Batman one last time, and trusting the people of Gotham to do that. So that was a nice sentiment to go out on.
I really like the prologue as well with Alfred going, all right, do you know what? We'll teach you how to fight. It kind of the birth of that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice little moment. And
obviously, Babs is. I mean, she's kind of back on her feet by the end. She can drive again, but she is kind of struggling to sort of recuperate early on. And she kind of tells Batman what Batman meant to her father, and why he's important. So both her and Dick are very much trying to convince him to believe in Batman and not just give it up. But anyway, so this is what Matt said. Very stand around and talk issue. Murphy gets the dynamics of the Bat family really well. Love that Bruce is still who he was meant to be despite the family history lie. Feels like the penultimate issue. Because it is. Art is good, but the stillness caught me off guard on a packed week. Don't forget Clark revealed his identity first. Ha ha ha. Batman the Animated Series Batmobile. It wasn't Batman the Animated Series Batmobile. Was it? It was the...
I thought it was the 89.
It was 89. I mean,
did they use the same Batmobile in animated series?
No, they're different. They're definitely different.
It looked like the 89 one to me. It had the round bit at the front.
Yeah, it was 89 Batmobile. So Matt's just incorrectly knowing his Batmobiles here.
For shame.
Nah, because the animated series one doesn't have the round bit. It's a more flat design.
Yeah, you're right, and it's kind of got like the cockpit at the top kind of goes over further, doesn't it?
Yeah. So no, it's very different, very different. But regardless, he gives it an 8.5. So.
God damn it, Matt. Yes, also giving it an 8.5.
I'll just give it a straight 8, but very good. Very good. I'm excited for the last issue.